All right. Welcome back to another exciting episode of PlanetGenX recaps, not reviews, Mandalorian episode 4. Yeah, this is not a review. This is a recap, reaction, something like that. We don't know what the hell to call it.
The Foundling.
Yep, the Foundling. And boy, right off the bat, the first thing that caught my eye was something that bothered me. California desert, man. That first scene right off the bat where they go into was it convert? Is that what we're calling it? Yeah.
Covert.
There it is, covert. It's like, god damn, there's that California desert again, man.
And it was super obvious in one of the later shots too, where it was just like the caps of where they were walking.
Yeah, I mean, come on, guys. We can do better than that. But anyway, so it's pretty cool how we start out with seeing the all the Mandalorians are just kind of shooting around and practicing, fighting, pointlessly shooting in the water for whatever reason. That seemed kind of dumb.
I had a problem with that, but when I went back and watched, I think I figured out what was happening.
Okay, lay it on me.
I think they had dummy rockets that they were shooting as targets.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah.
Because, it's just like, what the fuck are they doing?
Yeah, it's just like they're shooting water, and I'm like,
that's not going to... Yeah. That's not going to get
great
you very
training,
trained.
guys.
Yeah. Y'all are supposed to be the baddest warriors in the world or universe or whatever.
Yeah.
Scary. But, yeah, it was pretty cool because we see Din kind of get Grogu up there to do a little training because he sees him off kind of dicking around over there with those rocks that aren't actually rocks. And it's funny, Bo leaning down. You take it easy on him, kid. Yeah, that was great. Because old Grogu, he can kick some ass when he wants to. But seeing him flip-flop all over that kid doing the old Yoda flips was pretty funny. Because he looked like he looked so fucking just like, what the? Every time he took a paint hit, he's just like...
Right, he's like, looked at Dan.
Yeah, he's like, don't look at me, look at him. That was one of the great lines, too.
Yeah.
Don't look at me, look at him. Yeah, and that's that kid, we don't know it yet, but he is somebody's kid.
Right.
Well, I don't mind giving it away. He's Paz Vila's kid. So that's why he has the blue helmet to match his dad's. And, and also, too, I'm sick of this kid getting, and maybe I'm jumping ahead, but, I'm sick of this kid getting picked on. Like, can't they pick on somebody else? It's not that this kid just seems stupid to me. It's like, what kind of luck does this kid have? It doesn't seem believable is what I'm saying. Like, like when that turtle gator from the other episode, it did mess with a bunch of them, but it specifically come up for him first. Yeah. Because he's there in the water. Right.
He was the one off on the side doing his own thing.
Yeah. So
that's what happens on a rabid planet like they're living on. Something's going to come across and try to snatch you up.
Yeah, I just think he's got the shittiest luck of all. I just think they should have let it be somebody else last time, if it was going to be him this time, or this time somebody different. You get what I'm saying? It just needed to be somebody different. I'm not buying into the fact that this kid has that shitty of luck.
Yeah, I think I don't know. I think that they had to have a hook for it to be his son.
Well, yeah, but
his son could have been a different person, right?
True. Or give him two sons. Well, no, that would look even more ridiculous. Yeah. Like, what kind of luck does he have then?
Yeah.
No doubt.
We just see him by himself. Who's he been banging?
Right, yeah. We don't even know how he's got these kids. And then Din telling him, he's got this, trust me, right before he does all that crazy Yoda jumps and stuff and flips.
Right.
The kid gets stolen by I don't know what to call it, like a dragon bird. I'm sure it has a name, but it's like a dragon and bird thing.
Yeah, they don't really say. It's just a giant bird of prey, basically, right?
Yeah, and then of course we see them all take off after him, but they have to give up because most people are like, "What the hell's going on?" They can just chase after him. Why? Because they talk about it's happened before, and they never find him or whatever because they always
gets away.
It always gets away. Yeah, and well, their jetpacks are limited, and of course, Paz says I'm out of fuel. They're just meant for short bursts. Those jetpacks are not meant for continuous flight and shit, so they can't keep up. But thank God Bo is. Right. And I'll speak more on it, but it's cool that she's just like stepping up. We talked last time about what's her motivation? Is this evil Bo-Katan? Because Bo-Katan was a bad person back in the Clone War days.
Clone Wars, yeah.
So what's her motivation now? Is she being bad to just get followers? Or, I mean, not bad, but is she just trying to get followers? Or
manipulative?
Is she being manipulative? Or is she actually buying into the creed and what they believe? And so, yeah, she kicks off out there going after it. And, and then she comes back, tells them, hey, look, I see where it is. We're going to do a go party and go get them. And she just takes the bull by the horns, which is pretty cool. And while they go off to do this thing, the
armorer tells her to take the Shriek Hawks, right?
Are they called Shriek Hawks?
They're called Shriek Hawks, and apparently it's like their training of special ops. They're not there yet, so they're sending them out on as many missions as they can, I think, is what that is.
Yeah.
Well, she's got a group with her besides just Din and Paz.
Right, yeah. And I knew that this was going to end up splitting them up to where the armorer could take Grogu off and go do something. I just knew that was coming, and sure enough,
right.
We have two stories going on. For those of you who have watched or going to watch our Picard recap, exactly the same thing. Two very different stories going on, which we've seen a lot of between both these shows. And there's a lot of people to deal with, so you almost can't get away from it.
Yeah.
So many different characters and stuff. But
well, again, another parallel. So she takes Grogu in, talks to him a little bit, and tells him we come up as like raw ore. We have to be beaten and refined.
Yeah, gotta be refined. Yep.
And he has this little flashback.
Oh yeah, finally get to see what the hell will happen with Grogu back during Order 66 Clone Wars.
How awesome was it to see Ahmed?
It was great to see Ahmed. I'm happy because he went through a really shitty, tough time with the Jar Jar thing.
Jar Jar.
He went into therapy and stuff, y'all. This is affecting him. I'm sure all that gray hair he has now, probably mostly from that. He had death threats and stuff. It just didn't go well.
He wanted to kill himself.
Yeah, it was really bad for him. So it's cool.
Yeah.
I had that name written down. Do you know the name of the Jedi he's playing?
I have it Kelleran? Kelleran Beck?
Yeah, that's it. Kelleran Beck. And
he's got a brother or something that made an appearance in the Clone Wars, I think.
Yeah, there was a game, like a live action game. I forget the name of it.
Too, yeah, I never knew about that game, but I saw that out.
It's for kids. I mean, it's
like Nickelodeon, Jedi Temple, whatever.
Exactly. It's pretty rough, but he that's where he's from, and Ahmed played it in that. And you get to see him having, basically helping Grogu get away from the Jedi Temple during Order 66. And then there was this one scene that I don't know, he gets to a lightsaber off the ground, so he's got two lightsabers now. And that scene where he's getting to the spear with Grogu and he's fighting off those 501st guards, troops, it just seemed kind of weak for Jedi. And I have a whole issue with a little bit of the effects, and it seems like they cut corners as far as how much they were willing to put into making shit look cool. Because there's something else I'll bring up here in a minute. But I just thought it was pretty basic for like a Jedi fight.
Yeah, well, I mean, it was kind of basic, but I mean, he did the maneuver, right? He was throwing a laser blast back.
Yeah.
Not all Jedi can do that as well as he did. They did have a strike shot of him actually hitting a trooper.
No force push, or
right?
That would have been nice to see, like a force push and maybe a couple ricochet shots.
Of course, I don't know how well he was in on that. He was always known as a trainer, specifically having a lot to do with lightsabers and the mythos of Star Wars.
Yeah, well, I don't know that much about him, but anyway, it's just a little something I noticed. And I don't know if, just like the California desert, if it's just one of those cost-cutting measures that I just have to suck up and deal with. And then, so ultimately, before the thing's over, we see an N1 Naboo starfighter and some Naboo guards that meet up with Beck, and I have to
another
assume,
chase.
Well, yeah, there's this whole chase going on
Coruscant.
Yeah,
they love the Coruscant chases.
Yeah, it's a good homage to the speed in Star Wars, that's for sure. But I have to think that the person. Okay, so who would send that starfighter? Well, you have Ahmed here, who would be helping. Well, Jar Jar is a senator right now at this time, so it's likely that Jar Jar is the one that sent that ship. That's just my guess. Whether or not it's true or not, who knows?
Where's the captain at that point?
Not Panaka, because he's not in that one. Typho or
Panaka.
something like that. Panaka was in the first movie.
Right. Did he die in the first movie?
No, they just replaced him with Typho, remember?
Right. But
so
they put him in like a different position.
In episode 3.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't know what happened to it. They just got a different actor, I guess, and they just killed him off or whatever. Maybe he's in a comic book or something like that. Put it in the comments if you know. I don't know what the hell happened to him, but I know Typho was the guy they got the next time.
Right.
So I forgot where I was at.
So you were saying Jar Jar.
Oh yeah, so I think Jar Jar probably sent that. That would be the most logical explanation.
Right. I can see it.
I don't think it would have had anything to do with Padme, because she was in the middle of trying to survive having kids.
Do we have any idea what the hell Jar Jar was doing at that particular time at Order 66?
Okay, other than the TV and even some of that I haven't seen in the movies, I am not well read in Star Wars as far as any of the books, even the old Legends books, or any of the new stuff, or any of the comics. None of it. So there may be something. I'd love for anybody to tell us if they do know. It would be
I wasn't saying that he wasn't necessarily. I was just saying I'm kind of in the same boat. I have no idea of what Jar Jar was doing at the moment of Order 66.
Yeah, I don't either. He may have been just on Naboo getting a phone call from somebody. Hey, shit's hit the fan. Shit's hit the fan. Oh Lord! So
anyway, he takes off. They go in the sky and get shot at, and then we get hyperdrive, and
Doctor
Who's back out of it. Yeah,
we get the hyperdrive Doctor Who logo, and then he wakes up,
and she is crafting for him a rondel.
Yeah, he gets his first piece of armor from the Mandalorians. His second piece of armor.
Right.
He has the chainmail already. Which where did the armorer craft that too? She did, didn't she?
Yeah, she did.
Yeah, she sure did.
She gave him a choice of what he could craft from, I think, the Beskar spear.
Yes, that's right. Okay, so I'd forgotten. So this is his actually second piece of armor then.
Yep.
Because I was thinking for some reason that was a Jedi thing, but it wasn't. Where I got that from. Yeah, and that's funny scene where Bo has to learn how to eat because she's so used to taking her helmet off all the time. He's like,
how do you eat?
Go off to your own secluded area and take your helmet off. And of course, Paz tells her, no, you can stay here. You're the leader. So you get the benefit of the fire.
As the leader of the raiding party,
let me stand next to your fire. Yeah, Paz actually seems like he's being kind of cool. Of course, we don't know. We're not supposed to know that that's his son that the bird has, the dragon bird. So
I don't know. I'm kind of questioning these relationships, right? Paz and Den, him and Bo, and like what it's how it's
very
going,
contentious. Yeah, because I mean,
well,
Paz thinks he has a right to the sword because his great whatever was the first Mandalorian. He was a Jedi Mandalorian. He was the only Jedi Mandalorian.
Well, and I mean, he was also the only one that protected the armor during that time where the previous covert was gone.
Yeah,
he's obviously got designs to be a leader of some sort. Right?
Yeah, there's no doubt that he wants to step up and be. And he may be, other than the armor, who's just wise, he may be essentially the guy they look to for everything. More or less, but obviously she's the wise woman, more or less, that he would go to.
Well, he's obviously not the quartermaster. We saw somebody else taking that role.
Yeah.
Anyway,
but yeah, so no, he has designs on. Obviously, we thought she did, Bo, with wanting the saber, and then here Din has the saber, doesn't want it, but because of the creed, they can't just hand it over and all that shit. So it just creates a whole mess of, there is a triangle there, no doubt, and Paz is sometimes cool, sometimes not, and it's all about the situation, whether he's cool or not.
Yeah,
he can flip on a dime. I hate people like that. I have a little Brandon like that when I was younger.
Yeah.
If anybody else was around, he was a complete prick. If we were by ourselves, he just like so nice. I'm sure there's something mental there going on.
Yeah. So they're at the base of the nest. They camp out for the night.
Yeah, and they go up to finally go up because they got to scale this large rock. And they get up there to
How
the
many
nest.
takes do you think that took for the shots going up?
Oh yeah, probably took a while. A lot of harness and wires too. They had to delete, go back and erase and post. But so they get up to the nest, and Bo's trying to tell them to be cautious, but Paz just runs out there and then thinks they're under some of the nest, and it turns out to be some of the babies and shit. And then the mother shows up, and this is the scene I was talking about. It really made me kind of like, what the hell? Why are y'all, being so cheap? The thing regurgitates his kid, and there ain't a drop of goo on him, nothing. He ain't wet or nothing.
He's not scratched up or anything.
Scratched. I mean, come on. What the hell? And when he hacked him up, he didn't even look all that good coming out. It was just a really shit composite. I thought they just didn't spend any money on it, and
I mean, at the very least, just make him like wipe something off of his face.
Dude, they could have
thrown
thrown slime all over that kid. It would have cost him next to nothing. I don't think they wanted to deal with the cleanup and shit. I don't know.
Well, again, it's a kid. What did they always say about movies?
Yeah, well,
no kids, no animals,
kids and animals and stuff. And I don't know. There probably is some. Not that it's working with them. It's probably some kind of like.
Law,
some kind of labor law, safety, labor law, exactly. So anyway, they go off through another little kind of fast fight. So a really cool Mandalorian scene because we get to see them how they do. You can imagine like how they might have trained myth-SARs back in the day. We give you that idea because here they have to wrangle this big ass mama because they got to get the kid from them, and it's knocking Bo out of the way, and as soon as that pauldron came flying off, I said, I knew that was going to happen. I just knew it. Something's going to fall off because she needs to go have a moment with the armor. I just knew that moment was coming, and didn't know it was in this episode, but sure enough, it was coming. Mm-hmm. And they get the kid, get back, and she gets her moment. Of course,
they get back with the hatchlings.
Yeah, that was funny. You've got foundlings to take care of.
Into like this interesting thing that they do with the beast.
Right. So we're getting back to... So we're actually starting to see the Mandalorian culture form again. And here, I was saying, what was Bo's motive? I think ultimately, and like I said, she's about to go off with the armorer. She's about to tell the armorer, hey... Because the armorer's about to make her a new pauldron. She says, well, can I have the myth-SAR on this? Because I have the night owl on the other one. And
well, she asked if she wanted the night owl.
Yeah, and she says, well, I'd like the myth-SAR, and can I have that? And she said, well, it belongs to all of the Mandalorians, so hell yeah, you can have it. Now I was thinking, Boba Fett had it on his from the get-go back in the 70s and shit, so it's cool that they've brought this in more into lore and stuff.
But he didn't have emblems, right? His was just kind of like spray paint, right?
No, he had an emblem on his.
Oh, was it?
Yeah, I remember it, yeah. It was actually on the figure. That's the first time I ever noticed. I was like, what is that? And I come to find out, later on is myth-SAR. Yeah. But, so she's like, yeah, it's all good. It belongs, myth-SAR belongs to all Mandalorians. So that's when she starts fixing her up with a new pauldron. And
Bo comes out with it, right?
Bo finally comes out with it, man. And it's funny because the armorer doesn't even really pick up on it She's like, yeah, great. That's awesome. You had a great vision.
It's a great vision.
Good for you. I wish I could have a vision like that.
She's like, no, it's really there.
No, I'm telling you, it's real. And then but she still doesn't quite take it. And then she said, I'm telling you, it wasn't a vision. It was real. And all you get out of the armor, and this is literally the end of the show, this is the way.
Yeah.
And that bugs the hell out of me in one respect, and I love it in another. It's perfect because that is literally what she should say. This is the way. But it's also like, can we please have some more context? Like, you should be more surprised, or you should maybe tell a story or two. Or
that's one thing I was going to say is I think I found it less surprising because the way it's worded is perfect. So one thing about the armor is pretty much the priest, right?
Right. I said the wise woman. Yeah.
Yeah. So there's got to be some kind of a context for her. Clergy generally keep records, right?
Yep.
So there's some kind of records that she can go back to, or maybe she's long lived and has seen much of this. But she says, when you walk the path of the Mandalorian, you will see many things.
That's true.
And it could have been literal. It could have been figurative.
Exactly.
We don't know the context necessarily that she's coming from. So I thought that was a great way to frame it.
Yeah, like I said, I loved it. Yeah, but at the same time, I had an issue with it too. So, but ultimately, it's great. And one thing I was going to say about Bo, and ultimately, I think we get from all this that she is genuinely a convert. Like, I don't think there's any ulterior motives. I think she's enjoying this. She's seeing how they live. She's living with them. She's leading a party to rescue this kid. She's seen this mythosaur. She knows that creed is real now. It wasn't just some bullshit. And she sees, well, hey, maybe there's something to this, and she likes being a part of something because she wasn't a part of anything anymore. Everybody left her after that last thing.
That's what I was going to say. It's like she got almost all that she wanted, and it sucked.
It did suck. She was over there just pouting on her throne when Den showed up the first time, and she didn't want to do anything. She didn't want to go with him to Mandalore, and that was her whole big thing. Let's go to Mandalore. Let's go to Mandalore. And he's like, no, I got shit to do. Then when he wants to go to Mandalore, she's like, fuck it, I'm over it. So that's my takeaway is that she's converted, and she may still, there's very well that she'll step up to be a leader. I think that there's a chance that something could come between her and Paz, but now we have this, right? And that even means that it means more that it does, because now we have this, that she saved his son's life. I don't know how bonds and debts work. I know Mandalorians do. So there's got to be some kind of debt there that he's going to owe her. So when it comes down to a head in this little love triangle they got going on over the Darksaber, how's that going to play out when he has to, is he going to lose honor because he's going to, throw out that debt, throw away that debt? I don't know. The only other thing, last thing I have to bring up, from now on, whenever any hardcore Star Wars fans love something, we're going to see this.
Yeah, right, yeah. The clacking of the bracer.
Clacking of the Mandalorian gauntlets, man. That's it. From now and forever, Star Wars fans are going to clap that way. You know it's going to happen. Remember I said it, March 25th, 2023, Star Wars fans, clap like Mandalorians from here on out.
I got one last thing I want to add in is I think this one had my favorite storyboard yet.
Yeah, I did catch a few of them. I didn't watch them all. Which one did you like?
The very first one, man. Freaking the forced perspective of like a kaiju Grogu.
Yeah.
I thought that was amazing.
It was great. That was one of the ones I saw the first couple, and I thought it was really cool too.
Yeah.
Yep, no doubt. Well, this was a very short episode. Very short, 33 minutes. It's one of the shortest we've had.
I got two things to add.
Sure, go for it.
Before this episode, I did some research afterwards. I didn't know that there were actually two doubles. I thought there was only one double for Pedro.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I didn't know that either.
And I also didn't know that the lady who voices the armor actually sounds a lot different than she does, if I recall correctly. But she was in Supernatural.
Yeah, really? Who's she playing?
She played the Darkness, Amara.
Wow. Yeah. Interesting. Well, they're probably giving some kind of a little bit of a like a reverb type effect because of the helmets.
Well, they're obviously doing some kind of a mod because you can hear it.
Yeah, you can hear it definitely for sure. But yeah, like I was saying, this was a really short episode, 33 minutes, in and out. Sometimes I can't stand that. For this, it worked fine. Because I always like I said, in our other Picard review thing, that it just seems like I wish we had more episodes. So when I get a 33-minute episode, I feel like I'm being cheated somehow. But it worked okay. And it was a good episode. It really was. So far, so good. I really enjoyed watching the Mandalorians do their thing.
Yeah, same.
Yeah, and Bo coming around. I think we're finally seeing her really liking it, and I can't wait to see where we go from here. I'm just hoping we see Thrawn before all this is said and done. I want to see Thrawn so bad, man.
You just got a thing for the blue skin, huh?
Well, I did like Shran a lot in Star Trek Enterprise. Of course, that's
we
Jeffrey
also
Combs,
had Cad.
Man. Jeffrey Combs is just the shit. What can I say?
Right.
Can't beat him. What? I love that when he fucking, I don't forget something that Archer says, and Shran's just taken so aback by it. He's like, what? And his little things come up. It's just great, man. But anyway, that has nothing to do with Star Wars. So we thank you guys for sticking with us for another Mandalorian, not a recap. Wait, is a recap, not a recap, not a review, is a reaction.
Reaction.
There you go. So thank you so much, guys. Please don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button. And, as always, we'll see you on the flip side. Y'all take care. Peace.